Alchemy is usually thought of as an ancient pseudoscience, practiced only by con artists and people crazy enough to actually believe that you can turn base metals into gold and find a way to live forever. But alchemy was an important forerunner of modern science. Not only did its practice rely on observation and experimentation, alchemy introduced people to the idea that they themselves could discover the secrets of the universe. Alchemy first developed in China and Egypt. It was Europeans' introduction to Arabic alchemy during the Crusades that most influenced European alchemy. Europeans took the Arabic idea of the creation of gold as a scholarly and spiritual quest and turned it mostly into a contest to see who could make the most gold. Originally, alchemy was viewed as a learned profession for wealthy elites, but by the 14th century alchemy had become more accessible to common men. In the process, alchemists had gotten a bad reputation for being liars and charlatans. By the 16th century, a group calling themselves chemists had broken off from the main group of alchemists. They eventually managed to get the study of chemistry into universities, forming the main basis for modern chemistry. Still, many people famous today for their scientific prowess were alchemists. Paracelsus was a Swiss physician who anticipated modern homeopathy, treated syphilis, and fought against the mysticism inherent in the medicine of his time, and an alchemist famous for his belief that the real point of alchemy was not to create gold, but to cure disease. Cornelius Drebbel, inventor of a thermostat, a submarine, and a compound microscope, was also an alchemist. Even Isaac Newton spent years searching for the philosopher's stone. The lines between alchemists and more serious scientists were often blurry at best.
Looking at these two pictures, can you guess which one is the alchemist's workshop and which is the chemistry lab? Here's the answer. It really doesn't matter, because at the time, an alchemist's workshop and an 18th century chemistry lab would have been almost identical. Chemistry has deep roots with origins tying directly into alchemy. As scholars continue to analyze the origins of chemistry, they continue to find that there was more of a gradual shift towards the science of today rather than an abrupt change. Indeed, alchemists were right in the general regard on a lot of topics. With the advances of modern science, it has become technically possible to realize some of alchemy's more far-fetched goals. For example, in the 1980s, a group of scientists at the Berkeley National Laboratory managed to change some bismuth atoms into a couple thousand atoms of gold by bombarding them with a particle accelerator. Now, this is what we call cheating, as it would have produced gold which would have cost over $1 quadrillion per ounce. While you can't transform base metals and other elements into other elements, they were able to observe some of the first intentional chemical reactions. They just didn't realize it at the time. To quote Bruce Morin of the University of Nevada, they were essentially pursuing philosophy and pursuing the investigation of nature in a way that made sense in the context of the time. Alchemists understood the concepts, but not the inner workings.
In order to show you that alchemy, however crazy its methods sometimes seem, did actually produce scientific advances, we recreated Hennig Brand's discovery of phosphorus in 1699. Disclaimer: no urine was used during the making of this film, but Hennig Brand collected vats of human urine to experiment with in his quest to turn yellow urine into yellow gold. First, he let the urine sit outside for a few weeks. He then boiled the urine, waited until a red oil formed, then extracted the oil. Next, he let the urine cool in his cellar until it turned black. Then he mixed the black urine with the red oil, heated it, and distilled the whole mixture. He had isolated a silvery liquid which burst into flames upon contact with oxygen, phosphorus. It was the first element to have been isolated since 1000 BC.
Alchemy has played a crucial role throughout human history, from its mystic Egyptian origins to its materialistic European incarnation. Alchemy has constructed a solid base for modern science. It has been vital in developing the scientific process, but more importantly, it has encouraged experimentation in the name of the greater human good. Without alchemy, chemistry may never have evolved at all.